the ever-complex tapestry of the gaming world, 2023 revealed itself as a year marked by both triumphs and trials. Amongst the highs and lows, the year carried a bittersweet melody, resonating with the closure of several cherished gaming worlds, controversies throughout the industry, but it was also marked with soaring successes like Baldur's Gate 3. As gaming enthusiasts, we get to navigate the ever-expanding universe of virtual realms, several of which are now lost to time. The reason behind these closures are varied, from dwindling player bases to unforeseen developmental challenges. The release of Baldur's Gate 3 stood as a testament to the enduring power of storytelling, immersive gameplay, and nostalgic allure of cherished series reborn in an era where we are rapidly losing that nostalgia, or the nostalgia is being sold to us at exorbitant prices. Now, in these videos, I'm not going to talk about every single game that shut down in 2023, just the ones that caught my eye, make news. Some are not games, but you'll see as we get through it. If there's any game I missed or something you want to see, stay tuned for the other parts that are going to be following this, and also let me know in the comments section below. January is either a make month for gaming, as people are now playing the games they got from Christmas, or it is a bust month from gaming, as people are playing other games they got for Christmas. But last year in January, we saw the closure of Spellbreak, which was a fantasy-themed battle royale. Politerate, I'm pretty sure I said that wrong, has been acquired by Blizzard Entertainment now, and they've been put to work on World of Warcraft. So they shut down the game to go work on World of Warcraft. Spellbreak was a free-to-play third-person shooter for PC, PlayStation, Xbox, and Switch, released on 2020, and it shut down in 2023. So a short 3-year lifespan, but a 3-year lifespan that, from what I could see, most of the community enjoyed. The shooter 9 to 5 was also a free-to-play 3v3v3, say that 10 times fast, first-person shooter developed and published by Red Hill Games for PC, Stadia, and GeForce Now, which, okay, I know sidebar, is the GeForce Now good? Because I've been looking at it. I've always been interested in like that cloud streaming tech, but I've never like dipped my toes into it. Let me know if it's good, but let's get back to it. It featured 3 teams, each one with 3 players, obviously 3v3v3, competing to complete objectives. The game's development started in 2019, and on October 2022, 5 months after the full release of the game, Red Hill announced through social media the end of the development of 9 to 5, and the game's servers were active until January 18th, 2023. The game was pulled from sale the next day, and all the bundles, but good guy developers, all the bundles and weapons and customization options were made free for players who owned the game a month prior. So yes, the game shut down, but at least they got some warning and got to enjoy all the free customization. Looking at you, Anthem. Anthem. I'm still going to talk about Anthem all these years later. I do not care. Finally, in January, we saw the shutdown of Google Stadia. Stadia was Google's dive into cloud gaming that shut down the same day as 9 to 5 on January 18th, 2003. Now, this is not 100% surprise to anybody that knows Google. Google likes to start and then shutter services, either long after they should have been gone or way too soon. Just go on to the Death by Google or Killed by Google thing and look at how many programs, apps, services they have taken down. However, from the people that I know that did use the service, they were actually impressed and kind of enjoyed what they saw, but the main concern was what ended up happening. That Google didn't make a ton of gamer money allegedly didn't make a ton of gamer money, and shut down the service that barely had any time to survive and grow. Gaming is not, and Amazon found that out, and other places are finding this out. Gaming is not just because you have money you can throw at it and be a big contender. You have to grow. It's almost like music in that way. You have to grow, you have to struggle. I get that mentality still, but Stadia could have been a great service for people. I'm a little upset Google shut it down, but again, not surprised at all by Google's decision to shut it down. And now, while Stadia did shut down in January, many of the employees were reassigned to other roles in Google, so I'm hoping nobody lost their position, that they just got shifted around, even if they did want to be working on gaming stuff, or if they did leave the company, I hope they found and continue to find success in their careers. One quick thing I want to get into before we continue on to February is this video is not made with malice. This video is not made to dig, to kick people while they're down. This is to highlight some of your favorite gaming worlds that maybe you didn't even know closed down. This is made with respect and care of the people who maybe sometimes lost their positions, lost their jobs. This is made with respect. Okay? That's all I gotta say. All right, next on February. February was a month we unfortunately saw Rumbleverse shut down. Rumbleverse was a 40-person brawler that shut down on the 28th of February. Although no reason was explicitly stated at the time, many speculated that it was due to low player counts, and that unfortunately will be the cause of a lot of games we see and cover here today. With so many daily type games where you need to check in, player count is gonna be a thing. But let us not use player count as a marker for the quality or passion put into the game. There is only so much attention we today as a peoples, as a gamers have, and it's very hard to compete with games that, like me, ESO is my daily game. And for a while it was also Destiny, but I was like, I don't have time to do anything else. So I dropped Destiny and just went straight to ESO. It's very hard to compete with people like me that once we have our daily game, you're really nothing. Unless it's an extraordinary game, nothing really is going to compete with that. Now, this one is going to be common. We're going to cover a couple of these. A bunch of old EA games lost their online services, so a bunch of old Maddens, FIFAs, and other EA titles were shut down or lost their online services this year. I know Battlefield Bad Company 2 and Mirror's Edge was on the docket. A couple of old Medal of Honor games, and we'll cover some other games that I kind of want to shout out specifically later. I think this one might be the most famous game on this list, the famous shutdown game on this list, and that's Babylon Falls. Not only did this truly live for only maybe a year, but it was probably the most notable failure from a studio that people kind of really enjoy their games, Platinum Games. They make Bayonetta, they've made Nier Automata. That's usually the one I tell people all the time, and they're like, oh yeah, really love that game. On the Wikipedia, Babylon Falls received negative views pretty much right off the bat. It reached a concurrent player count of less than 1,200 just after release day on Steam and declined sharply after that. 6 months later, Square Enix, the publishers, announced that they would be ceasing support and shutting the game down on February 27th, 2003. We are not surprised by Square Enix shutting down games or perceiving games that they don't sell in a certain amount as failures. But I think this game, I haven't played it, but from every kind of like review and person I know that has played it, they're like, yeah, it kind of deserved to be shut down. And to round out February, Hellfire Tactics, which was a competitive multiplayer auto battler, shut down. There were 8-player matches while drafting from 90 different units. So if you've played like any auto battler, I was about to say Gwent, but that's a card game, but an auto battler, you know what these are. I'm not remotely familiar with these types of games, but it's always sad to see something go that people loved at one point. And the final month that we're going to cover this year only has one thing, but it's a big thing. We saw the official closure of the Wii U and the 3DS eShops. We knew they were closing. I think I covered it at the end of the last video. We knew these were closing. It is sad to see them go because there was a lot of really good games trapped on those shops that unless Nintendo releases, they are probably never going to come out again. So they're like Disney. They're in the vault. They're probably going to release them in some weird 4-package game bundle and then take it off shelves the next day knowing Nintendo. I don't know, but the shop's officially shut down. Now, we're not even halfway through the year, so stay tuned for part 2 of this. This is going to be 3 parts. So this is part 1. Stay tuned for part 2. And then we're going to round it out with part 3. Again, this was made with fun, just documenting the closure of these games. This wasn't made to poke fun at them. This wasn't made to degrade the people who lost their games. This is just to document. If I missed any games, let me know in the comments section below, and I will see you guys on the next video. I love you guys.